Welcome, acolytes. Today I'm reacting to Shoe0nHead, the Twitch Th0t Epidemic and its consequences. Oh, okay, good. I misread that this first time, but it's fine. It's totally fine. At the end, what do I think about it? Because I have a strong feeling about the entire Th0t Epidemic, and it's, well, you're actually the thing is, let's say it like this, the thing is, if you have grown-up men that want to do this, I have exactly nothing against it. Now why? Well, they serve a product that men want to actually see. Now the problem that I see with it is the following. There are 13-year-old children also consuming this kind of freaking content. And you know, your neighbor knows, I know, that most of those women have OnlyFans. And they are only on Twitch to promote their OnlyFans. And doing that to children is a gigantic problem in my book. So that's why I actually dislike it and hope that someday there comes something that actually just says we have to get rid of it. But probably won't happen. So yeah, let's just hope for the best, live our lives, and let's see what Shoe0nHead has to say about it. Because that's also always, well, I mean, I bench watch her stuff a bit, so I know what I'm on. And smart girl, I really have to say, smart girl. So let's start. And by the way, if you like my content, leave a like, subscribe, comment, and you know the jizz.
Don't like seeing lewd things online, simply close your eyes and walk away. But what happens when you do close your eyes and walk away, but no matter where you walk away to, you bump right back into it? Whether it's on Twitter, TikTok, or even Twitch.
Yes, and that's a giant problem.
Dasani water. I'm gonna get canceled for this. All these years, and this is what's gonna get me canceled. I don't want to hear it from any water snobs, okay? Where are my fellow Dasani heads at? But anyway, do you like the red hair? A lot of the Twitch thoughts that I'm gonna be talking about have red hair. I felt like I was missing out. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are talking about the Twitch Th0t Epidemic and its consequences, as well as OnlyFans culture and the destabilization of... I promise this won't make sense. Maybe. Like all my videos are just kind of messy brain vomit. I mean, I guess that's one way you could be sure I'm not plagiarizing. When I start to sound smart and make sense, that's a red flag. I figured out how to use ChatGPT. So for those of you who are unaware, Twitch is a video game streaming website, or at least it used to.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, Twitch should be a video gaming website. It has the actual thing where you can say, okay, if you hear Twitch, you think about video games. But right now, it's just a well, you know, OnlyFans promotion site. So, yeah.
To be, where people often stream themselves playing video games and interact with their viewers. But recently, in the past few years, it has been invaded by women. But not only women, naked women. Now you might be asking, Shoe, what is wrong with that? And normally, you'd be correct. But Twitch is a website for kids. Advertised for users 12 and up. And
yes, she even says the thing. Damn, yes.
Predominantly used by young boys. And the question on everyone's mind is, are these evil Jezebels preying on today's youth? Or are they simply the product of capitalism? Clever, sneaky women taking advantage of people living under a brutal system in order to selfishly make money. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Before we get into this, let's quickly get into today's sponsor. When you're browsing the internet, you may think all your personal information is safe on there. Well, if I date other tools, please submit or private information private during this video, and as always, thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. Now let's get back to the video. So So about 2 weeks ago, this tweet showed up on my Twitter timeline. What's going on with Twitch? Which showed a streamer wearing no shirt, swinging her fun bags around slightly off camera every time she got a donation. So for strictly research purposes, I went to Twitch to see if this was real, and surely enough it was, and it wasn't just one streamer, it was many, it was multiple. It was the entire home page. And then when you went to click on one of the streams...
Yes, and of course, doesn't that make sense? If you can actually get something out of this, you do it. That's something you can do. And it brings you actually some advantages. Because showing meat, that's always gonna sell. Not saying it's good. I'm saying it is what it is.
Streams, it just took you there. No verification needed, no login required, nothing. And the whole internet pretty much agreed this was insane. Not everyone, we will get to that, but most people agreed this was crossing a line. Because of all the outrage, Twitch changed the rules. Not to fix the website, they changed the rules in order to save the Twitch thoughts. Twitch actually doubled down and made it so twerking, pole dancing, and artistic nudity was allowed. Artistic nudity. Right. So obviously, Twitch is run by simps. We knew this. Anyway. Artistic nudity. So like, can you glue googly eyes onto your Can you do like a little meat spin on camera with googly eyed and that would be considered cool and fine? Because it's art, right, Twitch? Why am I still doing this? So then VTubers, animated YouTubers, took advantage of this new artistic nudity rule and started streaming their avatars butt-ass naked.
It's called hentai, and it's art.
Only for them to get banned while the Twitch thoughts remained. Clearly, 2D girl discrimination. A few days later, Twitch finally banned the Twitch thoughts for a day.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Okay, time's up.
This has been going on for a very long time. From hot tub streams to ASMR ear licking. Twitch has just becoming a cesspool for this stuff. Especially in the past 3
Yeah, this is just... And if it's a site dedicated for this, I don't care. But this is a site for children. What the F?
years, following a pattern I have been seeing online. A huge increase of OnlyFans models and everywhere. And it isn't just my observation, it's a fact. There are many studies that came out that show pornography and pornography addiction increased significantly during the pandemic, especially for young people, and hasn't decreased since. And the amount of people making content on OnlyFans has skyrocketed. Being locked in our houses absolutely did something to our brains. You used to have to go out of your way to see this stuff, and now it's everywhere. Now compare this to how I talked about this issue a few years ago, where I would make fun of people for complaining about. This is like walking into a strip club and being like, get your horny asses out of here. The difference is now, everywhere is the strip club. It's to the point where even meme accounts on Twitter are being paid to discreetly advertise OnlyFans pages. And you can't even block the accounts that show up as ads on Twitter. Great website, Elon. 13 plus, by the way. And anyone who points this out is called a prude or a conservative. If you have an issue with naked women making softcore on a website full of children, you're the problem. How does the overall well-being of society affect you, bigot? Most of the internet seems to agree that this Twitch thing was wrong, but there were a lot of people mad at me and others for pointing out the obvious. So we're gonna respond to some of those critiques from people who disagree on this subject, and then we're gonna talk a little more deeply about all of this. Because I feel like it's a little deeper than the Twitch thoughts. The Twitch thoughts are just a symptom of a disease. Why doesn't Twitch just make a new 18 plus site? They do this on Twitch because the market is already saturated on actual cam sites. They won't stand out. They can find a larger, younger audience on Twitch. What I'm trying to say is, these should be banned. Okay, so my tweet was a little harsh, but am I wrong? Blaming these women for what Twitch allows and calling them accomplishes nothing except morally grandstanding that you think you're better than them. So first of all, I am better than them.
Yeah, sorry about that, but because of this comment, get fucked. Also, the guy that wrote it, or the woman, get fucked. Just, if you think that I, or somebody listening to me, or anyone else that doesn't do this stuff, is worse than someone that abuses the immaturity of children, then go and get and put a stick in your buttocks. For F's sake. How the F can you even... Oh, this is... I'm gonna puke. This is disgusting. Why would you even think that? It's just... Oh. I don't get it. What's wrong with you?
So are you. So is everyone who doesn't make on Twitch. And second of all, I know calling them whores does nothing. I did it because it was funny. These are grown-ass women toying with the TOS. They know what they're doing is wrong. They know they're walking a fine line. That's why they're here, on Twitch, and not on the hundreds of adult websites that exist. If a pair of tits are so dangerous to you, maybe you should lock yourself in the cave. Cry more, lil bro, and tell your fellow bros to stop thinking with their dicks. Hello, fellow bros. Stop thinking with your dicks. Brace yourselves. The incels about to lose their minds and act like women are ruining Twitch. Lol at the men in these comments admitting they are not attracted to women. I'm sorry you don't like hot women. Maybe work on the internalized misogyny. Nah, sorry. If you don't like huge oiled up milkers bouncing around on a Twitch stream, I'm just gonna assume you hate women. Do straight men even like women? Oh, you're not sexualizing women? You're not just gooning to every woman you see? What do you, hate women? What are you, gay? How did they manage to reverse engineer being sexist into not going awooga, awooga, honk, honk every time they see a woman? Incredible. Huge fan of these mammoth milkers, but I do worry about the dynamic and weirdness of women who are essentially sex workers interacting with and asking for donations from chat on a site largely used by young men. Feels like a race to the bottom. When Vosh and I, the people who talk about f***ing Pokemon, are saying things have gotten weird, I think that's proof that things...
Oh my god, beautiful. Yes, yes. Yes. Oh, this is... Yes. If people who are... Oh, so true. So true.
Have gotten weird. As a sex worker, I agreed. I dislike the blurring of adult and all ages platforms like Twitch and TikTok, but I also don't know what men expected when it's so successful either. I don't know, I guess men expected women not to get borderline naked on a website occupied with children, maybe? The bar is really not that high. There is a market for literally everything. That doesn't make literally everything excusable. If you give your kid unrestricted access to the internet, that's a you problem. Parents have to take some level of responsibility over their child's online content consumption. So I agree with this. Of course I agree with this. Parents should absolutely be monitoring what their kids are looking at online. The issue is Twitch is advertised as a website for them. It is advertised for users 12 and up, so parents will naturally assume that the website doesn't feature like this. I think that's a pretty reasonable assumption to make. Like, I don't have to sit and watch Nick Jr. constantly with a 10-year-old just in case Peppa Pig decides to go Girls Gone Wild. It's safe to assume that is not going to happen. So yes, you should be monitoring what your kids are doing online, but this isn't like a kid going onto an 18+ website. This is a kid going on a website that is advertised for them, that is made for them. So
yes, this website is specifically advertised for kids. And this is the problem everyone has with it. If it was an adult website, nobody would say a thing. Well, of course, there would be some freaks that actually say something, but you know what I mean. I just say to a large degree it wouldn't be a problem, because kids will be kids, they want to see stuff, they want to learn stuff, you know how it is. But a child website, Nah, come on. Like, nah, come on. Come on. No.
So this is in big part the website's problem. A lot of people were saying that the solution to this would be making Twitch 18 plus, which I agree makes perfect sense to do, but the thing is,
right now,
Twitch
yes.
won't make it 18 plus, because that's what drives away advertisers. Lots of advertisers won't advertise on websites that are 18 plus. It's too risky, it's bad for their brand. And Amazon, the owner of Twitch, needs more money, of course. Same reason Twitter isn't being made 18 plus, because at the end of the day, the richest men in the world need more money. And apparently, Twitch is going bankrupt. No wonder they want to keep the Twitch thoughts on the platform. Also, I didn't even know that Twitter was only 13 plus until embarrassingly recently. Elon, I beg of you, either make Twitter 18 plus or get rid of the porn. I personally think the former is the better idea because I'm tired of seeing unsolicited opinions of minors on the internet, and I just don't get tired of seeing images of strangers' butt pop up on my Twitter timeline while I'm scrolling in public. Always a joy. But think of the children aside, Twitch is just not a website for this. There are thousands of other websites for this. There are so many, so why do these women have to do this on a website not for this? Well, it's simple. Because the websites that are made for this stuff are already oversaturated. The market is full, and basically these mids are not going to stand out on a dirty webcam site where there's thousands of other people doing exactly what they're doing. But when there's only a few dozen on Twitch doing it, they're more likely to stand out, get more followers, make more money, and attract an audience that wouldn't normally go on those other sites. Unfortunately, in this case, a much younger audience. I remember in like 2008 or so, I did a fan meetup, and most of the people that came were in their 20s, in college, in their 30s, but there were like a few 12, 13-year-olds, 15-year-olds with their parents, and I was just like, oh no. Like, it just didn't even occur to me that people that young would be watching my content or interested in my content. But just the fact that people that age knew about me was so scary. So I just have to wonder, like, how are these people not feeling that way? Like, I didn't purposely go out of my way to attract that audience, but these people are going out of their way to attract that audience. If they weren't, they wouldn't be doing it on this website. They would be doing it on the websites this stuff is for. What makes it possibly even grosser is the fact that Twitch uses in-game money, meaning a kid could use their parents' money to buy Twitch bits or whatever the and then use those Twitch bits in order to get these women to interact with them and to shake their and their parents would never know. Many people suspect this is the reason Twitch made that change, but I don't know. It does line up with Twitch's MO. They will do anything to keep these women on their platform. They are their cash cow. They bring in the big bucks. After all,
Yep, they are basically pimps. Think about it and realize I'm right.
there is a market for this. Men, takes two to tango. Most of these bitches would be broke if it wasn't for your coomer asses. Oh wow, sex workers working under capitalism? How crazy. Every man in this comment section has mommy issues and gets no actions. Y'all mad she's making more money with less effort. Finding this sexual makes you're a pervert. Go to your dead mom. Smartest Twitter user. Sounds like you're just mad you can't manipulate a following in the same fashion. Granted, I don't condone it, but you're coming off as salty as a group of people found a loophole around the TOS and are abusing it. Frankly, these women should be praised for thinking outside the box and pandering to an audience that isn't oversaturated.
This is the thinking of a woman. Well, okay, I don't know if it's a woman. I thought I seen a female name. I mistake that one. Of a person that just freaking wants child abuse in their daily life. Yes, I'm gonna call it as it is. This is child abuse. And if you think differently, yeah, I'm sorry about that. You're dumb. You're just dumb. It's incredible.
You can't exactly criticize them for being smart enough to know which outlet has a higher chance of yielding in
abusing kids. I repeat, this moron of a person is actually freaking championing abusing kids.
Income. What do you mean? It takes 2 seconds to take off my shirt. Literally any woman in the world can do this, but most don't because making on a website mostly populated by minors is gross and insane. Gonna be honest, I thought you were a dude. Funny you shame the women when it's clearly women just taking advantage of the system we live under, capitalism. Yet you call yourself a socialist? A lot of issues do come down to capitalism, but as we do so often with other things, you can criticize people exploiting this system and exploiting the loopholes in this system. We don't just hand wave away politicians buying stock. We don't just hand wave away Jeff Bezos making his employees pee in bottles just because we live under capitalism and it is what it is. No. Yes, ultimately, I guess it's a capitalism issue. It's a TOS issue. But you'd never apply this standard to people marketing gambling or crypto scams on Twitch, which is funny because, like, a year ago, there was like a bunch of gambling drama on Twitch, and one of the biggest critiques people had was, there are children on this site. You're basically selling gambling to children. So how is this any different? It's amazing that just because they're women, suddenly they get a pass. And if you call it out, you are slut-shaming or a pick-me, of course. Oh look, Queen Pick-me is at it again, putting down other women. Shoe is, I'm not like other girls personified. Okay, this insult normally doesn't work, but it especially doesn't work here because I am like other girls. Most women, in fact, do not make on Twitch. It's incredible how criticism of even like a single woman is seen as some personal betrayal, and the only reason you would do so is male attention. I never understood why I need to feel some sort of like loyalty to complete strangers just because we were born the same sex. I don't know you b****s. I don't support all of you. Some of you are dumb. Like as if these kids don't have access to porn at the tips of their fingertips. Trust me, if they want porn, they will get it. There aren't any toddlers on Twitch as far as I'm aware. It's 13 plus.
Yes, but it doesn't mean you should make it easily accessible. Those are still children. Of course, if they want stuff like that, they're gonna find something. But you still shouldn't do it easily accessible. That's the difference. Just don't. F me, this is...
Plus. Do Americans think children will be traumatized by seeing naked women? Do they not realize those same kids can and do simply go to porn sites to jerk off? Shoe, I hate to tell you this, but the average kid is seeing way worse stuff online all the time. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Let's be real, this ain't nothing to kids nowadays. I grew up with the internet as a kid/teen and was able to find stuff back in 2002. Where now it's literally so easy to find stuff and most teens have phones. I don't think they would be fazed by this content. Again, that is a bad thing. Maybe it shouldn't be that way. I hate this whole, well, that's just the way things are attitude. That's how you get people coming up with these head-ass ideas, like making for kids because kids will find porn anyway. There were so many replies to me that were like, I was watching hardcore since I was 10 and I turned out fine. Your Twitter likes are public, sir. No, you didn't. You don't see a problem with this because you are extremely desensitized, and honestly, so am I. I'm no swerf, I'm no worker, exclusionary, radical feminist, because first of all, I'm not a feminist. It's like our culture has become so overly sexual that it's not even sexual anymore. Our culture is just becoming desensitized to and that's not a good thing. I guess I just miss the days of tasteful thigh. Because of this oversaturation, many in Gen Z are apparently craving normal relationships on the big screen. They're bored of seeing sex everywhere. To them, sex has been available one Google click away since they were like 4 years old, and it's having really negative outcomes. Like the amount of grown-ass millennials calling Gen Zers prudes and puritans is another word I saw. It's just really fucking weird. Like, I'm sorry we're all addicted gooners. Maybe the younger generation is trying to tell us something. Someone called me a prude over this. Me. Just like with video games when I was a kid. Boys are mad because girls are playing in a space they've deemed theirs and are kicking their asses at it. So first of all, girls have already been in these spaces playing video games for years. There was no issue, so it's kind of weird to be like, sorry, we're kicking your asses, boys. Like, kicking their asses at what? Being naked on camera? Being naked on camera in front of minors? I just think it's interesting and ironic how like 10 years ago, these same people were fighting to keep sexualized women out of video games, and now they are fighting to keep sexualized women on Twitch, a website for video games. It has come full circle. If only Anita was here to see it. Also, imagine flipping the genders in your stupid fake fan fiction. Imagine a grown-ass man coming into like a female space. I don't know, what's a female space? The Stanley Cup fandom. Those f***ing cups. Imagine a man coming into the fandom of these f***ing cups, dangling his ding-dong around, and people are like, can you stop? That's really weird. He's just like, oh wow, you just hate men. Like, f*** you, go away. These women aren't stealing anything from the men. If anything, they're stealing from the women. Because the more Twitch becomes a website for this, the more this shit rises to the top. And the more normal streamers, especially women, who don't do this, sink to the bottom. If I was a female, wait, I am a female. If I was a female gamer grinding my ass off in this male-dominated space, the same way a lot of men do, and seeing what female content rises to the top of this website, I would be pretty demoralized. Look anywhere, not just Twitch. Sex work starts to appear like the only successful avenue a woman can go down. In 2014, there was a lot of talk about harassment towards women online. And my answer would always be like, just trolls, just block them, just ignore them. They're trying to get a rise out of you, which is still true. But a lot of these people aren't trolls anymore. They're your followers, your friends, your allies. You see, sexual harassment has evolved. 15 years ago, it was anonymous trolls entering your chat like, show me your tits. Now it's Jeff, he, him, politely asking if you're interested in joining OnlyFans. You know, show me your tits. For money. What is stopping me from taking off my shirt and making a ton of money? Besides, you know, a father figure. Pretty much nothing. Any woman can do this, which is why so many women do this. The pressure is insane for young women nowadays, and I honestly feel bad for them. I do. I feel bad for women. What is this? What is this strange feeling? But from their point of view, from what they've been told, society is going to sexualize them anyway. You're a woman online and you don't sexualize yourself? That's okay. We got AI for that. Also, while I'm editing this, I just noticed that was an ad. That's an ad on Twitter. It says ad in the corner. Dystopian. Why not simply take the power back and make money off the inevitable? It's getting weird out there. Men and women are being pushed and pulled in so many different directions. Women are being sold this idea that they should be independent girl bosses who don't need no man. And if they want to make the choice to be sex workers, that's their choice. And I consider myself socially libertarian, so I'm all for personal choice. But how much of this really is personal choice?
Yeah, because that's interesting. Is it your choice if you actually grow up in a society that actually wants this? Now, I don't mean it like they do, or, well, the people don't like to, but I mean it in a way of it's a society that actually wants you to be sexualized as the freaks do. And you're liberated, you do this. How much of it is it you actively deciding to do it? Because you get positive reinforcements from every side. And at the end of the day, is it you or is it something that you actually got told? And that's maybe some interesting things to think about. Because I personally am not sure. Well, I mean, I'm over a certain age, over 35, and I had my fair share of experiences in this life. Like, and at the end of the day, I learned a lot, and what I learned is, well, going against the grain is most of the time pretty, well, successful. And not always, by the way. Some things that society actually decided are good are actually good. So don't hang me for that. But you have to find a certain mix. Not go always the one thing you think is the one and true thing. No, always be open and think about the things you do. But yeah, here it's pretty effed up.
I work 5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week, okay? I do not make enough to live on my own. I would not make enough to pay rent, water, electric, and eat.
When are things gonna go back to where you can work and support your family without f***ing stressing out? I can't do this anymore!
Like, I just got a good job. I started in September, but even with that job, I still can't do shit. I can't buy anything. I can't afford the rent these days.
By the way, welcome to reality that men had to fight with all the time. So, hi, we're on the same page now. I hope you're happy.
Like, I'm just feeling so much despair, and I know I'm normally like really, really positive, but I'm just like, how is everyone else, and are you okay? Because the answer's probably no.
We're gonna just start an OnlyFans. In 48 hours, how much money did you make?
48 hours.
Oh my god.
I made a little over $1 million.
Damn. And by the way, for any if it happens that a woman sees this, or maybe a father with his daughter, and sees, whoa, that's a lot of money. This is the top 1% of 1% of 1%. Don't think about it. Just don't. And also, because what I heard, there was a little Th0t's argument I actually had not long ago about with children, and why should you play with them, give a fuck about them, and just be with them, or do special things about it. They won't remember it anyway. And my standpoint on that is the following. No, they won't remember it. After 15 years from now, they won't remember that you specifically went out and made the things you made with them. They won't remember you were there. They won't remember this. But what they will remember is actually the person they are in with it, the feelings about it. They will remember you had time for them and did what you did with them. They will remember that they have a person that they actually can hold on to, be there for them. This is the thing they will remember forever. And this is why I personally think it's very important spending time with your children, because they will remember that they can just trust you. They can remember that you will be there. Not the thing you did with them, but that you were there. You are there. You are there for them. And spend time with them. They can trust you. This is what they will remember. I hope I made sense.
47 million to show tits and ass. Why wasn't I born a girl? Their lives are on Rookie. I wish I was a girl to make easy money like that. Women have it so easy, it's not even funny. There is a lie perpetuated by people on the internet that OnlyFans is this get-rich-quick scheme, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The average woman on OnlyFans only makes $180 a month, and that's average. Most are making way less than that. But this get-rich-quick lie is not being sold by only random people on the internet, it's also being sold by OnlyFans itself. Kiss that 99-cent ramen goodbye and say hello to endless opportunities on OnlyFans. This is just the 2023 version of, hey lady, I see you're having financial problems. Say, can you dance? I have a couple of friends who are pretty famous OnlyFans models, and they've disclosed to me that allegedly people who work for OnlyFans have approached them, telling them to post about how much money they made, or show off expensive things they bought with money they made by being an OnlyFans model in order to recruit more women to be OnlyFans models. This includes showing off handbags, expensive clothes, makeup, cars, and even houses. Like, I just bought my first house thanks to OnlyFans. It's disgusting to do this in general, but especially disgusting to do this during a housing crisis. It's just evil. It's incredibly rare you can make a living doing this, just like YouTube. And I could not f***ing imagine if YouTube sold itself like, tired of being poor? Become a YouTuber. Like, what? Now, why would they do this? Why would OnlyFans manipulate and entice poor, desperate people like this? Oh, that's why. Of course it is. That's always why. In a way, we are all selling our bodies to labor. We are all whether you work at a fast food place, you're a lawyer, or a YouTuber, you're a we're all for capital. At the end of the day, it's a job. These Twitch girls, these OnlyFans girls, they're getting their bag. Like me, like you, like everyone else. And I guarantee you, a lot of the men who about OnlyFans models would do it instantly if they could. You would all be and why wouldn't you? Go to college and go 100K in debt for a useless degree that won't get you a job? Or this? Why wouldn't you? Break your back and spirit working a 9-to-5 that you absolutely hate and get no satisfaction from? Or this? Why wouldn't you? And that, for the modern woman, is probably the most black-pilling question right now. Why wouldn't you? Get exploited or exploit yourself. So is it really the Twitch Th0t's fault? Taking advantage of a market to make it in an overwhelmingly male-dominated field? Is it really her fault for trying to survive in this unforgiving world, in a society that will abuse, exploit, and degrade her anyway? Is it really her fault? Yes! Yes, it is! Get off Twitch! It isn't for the end! So that was that video. I have been wanting to talk about this subject for years now. What do you guys think about this? Do you also feel that desensitization feeling I'm talking about? And how old were you when you first found this kind of stuff? Has it affected your life or relationships at all? But who cares about relationships? Who cares about real women when we can have an AI girlfriend? Am I right? Anyway, I will see you guys soon with a new...
Yeah, Shoe0nHead is funny. She's a funny girl. And also wise. She actually knows her ways around a bit. So yeah, if you liked it, go show her some love, show me some love, especially me. I need it. I need it. Okay, good. Good night, acolytes.